Welcome to Hello Chaos, the unfiltered podcast for founders in the messy middle. No fairy tales here, just the real grind, the grit, and chaos of what it takes to build and scale a business. Today we have on our show Brian Thompson. He is the founder and financial planner of Brian Thompson LLC. And I think you're calling out of Chicago, right, Brian? Oh, my
Absolutely.
goodness. Which we'll talk about that. My son lives there now, so love it.
Nice.
But welcome to the show. Welcome. I appreciate you being on.
Thanks for having me, Jennifer. I love your energy. I love the concept of the podcast. So I'm excited to share my experience, strength, and hope around building a business.
Well, fantastic. Well, let's just start out the show. So you're a founder. Tell me, how in the world did you get into this? What sparked the, I'm going to do it, I'm going on my own? What was that? What was that spark?
It took me a little while. I was a tax attorney for 10 years before I founded my own financial planning firm. And a part of it was I really love tax work. I love being able to figure out the different nuances and puzzle pieces of the tax law and the tax code. And then I loved being able to help people out of situations. And so as an attorney, I was always helping people who were in trouble. So that was a little stressful because it was always a high stress situation. And so around the time that marriage equality was coming to pass and everybody was thinking that the LGBTQ community were going to get a lot of new marriage rights, I started to write about what those rights would be and how I could help people figure them out. And I had this inkling of, I wonder what it would be like to help people be more proactive rather than reactive. And so that was the signal that I got for the firm of oh, maybe I could help people do this in a different way. And then the universe gave me a push. The partners at my firm were splitting. And one of them said, hey, you can come with me. You can get on the partnership track. You'll be a partner in 7 to 10 years. And that timeline just didn't work for me because I already knew I'd been working with him for 10 years and realized I'm already making you a lot of money. Why wouldn't I be able to do this myself? So that was the push I needed to really think about what it would be like to start my own firm. I found a planning network that helped me launch my own financial planning firm from there.
Fantastic. Okay. So you worked for a firm and now you started your own. Are there any myths that you had going in that you're like, this is what I was told, or this is what I thought looking at it from the outside. And now that you're the inside, you're like, oh, we're going to bust these myths right now.
It's funny. I'm very much a preparer and planner by nature. And I just did not do that for starting my own firm. I was like, oh, this should be easy enough, right? I can do my own thing. I know how to serve clients, right? How hard can this be? So I think my problem was the opposite. I didn't have enough knowledge about what myths there could be to break because I just thought I could do it.
You just jumped in. But if you could go back and go, oh, maybe I should have done a little bit more homework. Is there anything that you would go, if I could hit rewind, would you do anything different?
No. I mean, I've loved the journey that I've been on. And I feel like a part of being a business owner is really learning in the chaos. I love the title of your podcast because it is just welcoming chaos into your life. And as someone who likes structure, who likes consistency, being a business owner has taught me so much about living in that gray and being able to really figure things out in the moment. And it started from the very beginning of saying, oh, I need to get licensed with the state. I need to get registered. I need to worry about compliance. I need to figure out what marketing looks like, right? I knew that I knew the tax law and knew how to help people, but making sure that people knew that I did this, right? That is a huge part about building a business. And I didn't know that, but all of it was a learning for me. And I learned very early that I just have to build, measure, learn, keep trying things, keep building, and keep iterating the best that I can and try to live the best that I can in chaos.
Isn't that funny how, that's something I would say has been a challenge for me, when I started the company, but also so rewarding. I think I've learned more about myself when you hit those challenges and you're like, ooh, I always say I'm unlearning, I'm relearning, rebuilding, and it's been is there anything that you're like, oh yes, I've learned some unique things about myself during this journey?
Yeah, I think that's such a great reflection and being able to understand that this is a personal journey. It is about us. And a lot of the foundation of my business building, the things that I help build with clients is doing that internal work. What are you trying to build? What do you want this to be? Where do you want this to go? And being able to know that you have to do that work first before you can build a successful business and help other people. And you need to put your mask on first. And I I'm actually very proud that I've learned to live in the chaos because again, I was very structured. I knew I was a people pleaser. I knew because I was a little closeted gay boy that I had to be perfect in every other way that I could.
Right.
And that helped me succeed in many
Hmm.
ways, but it was all structured and it was all very much controlled.
Hmm.
And having to figure out that this is not about control, not about structure. There is no certainty.
Right.
Being able to live in that gray. I also got divorced while I was building my business and dealing with the personal chaos and the business chaos all at the same time. I'm proud of myself for being able to learn how to do that, live in the gray and figure things out
Yeah.
as I need to.
It's funny how, we talk to founders, we hear similar, themes and stories of we're really resilient people.
Yep.
I think more so than that we often give ourselves credit for, right? It's like
Yeah.
we've got that grit
Mhm.
because it's not made for everybody, right?
It's
Uh,
not made for everybody. It's not easy. And you have to really be able to live in those gray moments and
mm,
still come through on the other side.
that's right. So, what's been the most rewarding part?
That's a great question. I feel like it is this, what you sort of mentioned, this personal realization and this personal
Mm,
journey around learning about myself,
mm,
learning who I am, and being able to live in my authentic self,
mm.
being able to really understand who I am and say I'm a nerd at heart. I love spreadsheets. I love control. I love putting things in order. And that's okay. That's a
Yeah.
part of me. I also love philosophy. I love thinking about the grander vision of life and what life means and
Mm,
how I can put those together. And it's all really become one part of my business, right? We talk
yeah.
about mission, vision, and values in building a business, but also the technical things like cash flow and taxes and making sure that you have the proper business structure.
Mm,
All of those things are what we work on in my firm with helping other clients build their firms. And it just really comes from this personal journey of saying, this is what I like. This is what I would
right.
do if people didn't pay me
Yeah. Do
and
do
having to
you
enjoy that process.
do you
Please.
find that now that you're working with uh, other companies as a small business owner yourself, did that give you different perspective? Do you feel like you're a better tax accountant and to those
For sure.
clients? Yeah.
Yeah. Right? It's empathy because I know what they're going through. I
Yeah.
know what it's like to not know what you're doing and feel like you need some help, you need some structure.
Right.
And that's what I really, really love and enjoy about what I do. I'm helping these people build the life that they want and also have the impact that they want. They
Mm,
all have a skill set that they can bring to the table that they are using to change the world. And I'm helping them do that. And that's
yeah.
fulfilling for me.
Yeah. I like that. What have you learned about yourself that really surprised you?
Hmm. I mean, I don't know that, like I said, I'm very proud of being able to live
Mm,
in the chaos and live in the gray, and that is a bit of a surprise. Um, but I feel like really just being able to let go of my people
right.
pleasing, let go of having to. The mantra that I used to say to myself is, "I'm lovable as I am," and
Yeah.
being able to let go of this insecurity and the imposter syndrome that
Yeah.
we all face and that we all see, but
Everybody.
being able to understand that this is a part of it. I'm who I am, and I can embrace who I am. I'm surprised that it took me 40 years to do that.
I know. Took me
And
50. I feel like
yeah,
I started my business in 2013 and I felt like when I turned 50 I was entering like a my own coming of age
mm,
story of
yeah,
learning more about myself and setting those boundaries and the imposter syndrome is really just um your confidence hasn't caught up with your competence.
hmm right,
And it took me like, I really know what I'm doing. I
yeah,
really, I'm good at what I do. Why, and setting those boundaries for how to, being more genuine about myself, but also
hmm
setting boundaries of like, I'm not going to have people interrupt that.
yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
It,
I'm curious to hear what changed. Where you what clicked in that moment for you, saying, "Oh, actually, I am valuable as I am."
Yeah, I'll tell you, just going through evolution of the business, we scaled really fast from 2013 to like, you know, 2018, 2019, COVID hit.
Mm,
You know, I made bad decisions when it came to hiring. I didn't have the structure. I would say I took for granted that I do something and, I've created processes and systems that are unique and special. I'm in marketing and branding. These are world-class kind of thoughts of Kellogg School of Business, the Wharton School of Business, Harvard. I've just kind of taken it and boiled it down so that it is more accessible
Hmm.
for small and medium sized businesses that big brands really get to enjoy. I
Yeah.
took for granted that when I hired people from other agencies, I thought they could also translate
Hmm.
and help me. And I didn't do a good enough job really defining my company and our culture. It's like we had it, but it wasn't really well defined. It wasn't well articulated. And I made the assumption that if I said, hey, this is who we are, and I got the head nods, that it could be executed. And that was so, I didn't have the right people in the right seats, but also I
Hmm.
didn't have the right operating structure to make it have the guardrails to protect the brand, protect our clients, protect our employees.
Hmm.
And I lost a lot of money in those hard years between 2020 and 2023 when it was like that was my wake up. And it really had
Yeah.
to, uh, when I had to reflect, it was what's the common denominator? Oh,
It's
it's
you.
me. Uh,
It
like
is always us. Yep.
it is me. I have nobody else to blame. It is all I didn't do what I needed to do as a leader, a founder. And yeah, so I had to go around my own self discovery
I love those
and,
moments.
healing and growth. And from that, it's like your company can't grow if you cannot grow.
Yep.
And your company can't grow if you're also not developing your people to grow along with you.
Hmm.
So those were my
I love it.
like big, and even though we work with clients and we're telling them that, it did not hit me as
Yep.
much as it should, because we were also working with like larger, Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies, some medium size that already had a lot of operations. So yes, it was easier to kind of tell them this is what you need to do because they had the structure.
Right.
But man, now it's like, ooh, when we work with smaller businesses, it's like I see it. I can see that friction it's like an explosion in
Yeah.
front of me going, you're running into trouble. Like, don't do what I did.
Don't do what I did.
Don't go
Yep.
there. Like, I'm going to save you so much money and so much pain.
Yeah. But you had to go through that in order to
I
learn
had to
and
go through
grow.
it.
You
Yep.
had to experience it. In those moments, I was just literally telling this to a client an hour ago who is, for the first time in their 20-year business, really having to market
Yeah.
and really having to
Yeah.
put themselves out there and saying, yeah, this is an opportunity. It's scary. It's hard,
That's
but it's an
right.
opportunity for growth. And those moments that are hard and that you come out the other side, they give you the confidence like you experienced of saying, no, I'm good at this. I can make
Right.
this. I can go through these moments and really come out the other side a much better business.
Yeah. And I think there's the evolution of younger generations. I think we see coming up, and especially in the marketing and media space. I always thought I'm going to build a company that's
Mhm.
bigger than myself. I hid behind the brand. And just having some encouragement from the community, the founder community, the entrepreneur of like, you need to, it's a founder led. Like,
Mm.
yes, the company is bigger than you, um, but it's because of you that makes it unique and special. So your voice
Right.
needs to be heard other than just internally.
Hmm.
So that was another little aha for me of putting myself out there, and
Mm.
then the you attract the energy, right?
Mm.
Like you said, the genuineness of
Hmm.
not being afraid, let people kind of see behind the veil.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah,
People
I
relate
think
to human beings.
that's
People
right.
relate to real people that have flaws and areas of improvement, but also attributes that we can all know that this makes us full, complete human beings.
That's right. Because that's what small business is. What's our differentiator? It's us that
Hmm.
makes it a differentiator.
Yeah.
So that needs to be a part of our brand story and
Yeah.
all of that. So Okay, so I'm curious, is there something that you really like about yourself
Hmm.
that you wish other people would recognize more? Whether it's your clients or, your peer group of
Yeah.
just curious.
Yeah. I mean, there are things that I love about myself, which is something I couldn't say 10 years ago. I feel like there are many things that I really have come to embrace my uniqueness around organization and structure.
Mm,
And like I said, the philosophical parts of my life and learning about who I am and this really deep yearning
mm,
for understanding myself and understanding other people. I'm just a naturally curious person, which is why I think I started my podcast. I just like talking to people. I like
yeah,
learning from people. I like having conversations with people and being able to really embrace who I am, just be me, I think is something that I'm really proud of and that I love about myself. I don't know that I think people give me actually a lot of credit for it. So it's not something that I think people need to give me more credit for. People always talk about, I ask questions and I'm curious and
you and I are the same. I drive
right.
people crazy. I mean, like our company, our marketing company tagline is Curiosity Unleashed. It's
Mm,
because my corporation name is Curiosity Inc. Like
yeah.
my whole foundation is being curious.
And I imagine that served you well, right?
Oh,
You have a podcast,
absolutely.
you have
Yeah.
a thriving business, right? I think that's the crux of really connective relationships, whether it's with your employees,
Hmm.
with the other people, like you said, your brand story, this curiosity about learning about other people, but also then how that reflects and how you can relate to them
Right.
in this sense of community and world that we live in, that we're all
That's
human
right.
beings trying to do the best that we can.
It's showing that radical empathy, right?
Mm.
Of how
Hmm.
do I walk in their shoes? How do I understand how to solve their problems? I mean, not in a way that I'm not, I'm like you. I could get over people pleasing, but that's why we had to put our boundaries on, right? We've
Right.
got to
Right.
set that, but at least understand of, oh my gosh, we can't send them this many emails or whatever it is
Right.
because they're not going to pay attention. That's not their world.
Right. And
Or
it's
just to
different for
have
everyone.
and it's different or to have kindness to go, man, they're, they either family problems, health problems, we're all humans and
Hmm.
how do we make life just a little bit easier when they interact with us?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so you've started your business, you're scaling it. What is a like an operational bottleneck that you thought you would never get solved, and how did you finally solve it? Because this is, I'm telling, like operations and systems is like, whew, that's the
Yeah.
it's a game changer.
It is a game changer. And I was by myself for a long time where I was just me. So I didn't realize that the bottleneck was actually me until I brought on another person that I had to then show process and systems and structures and
Like this is Brian's way,
correct.
right?
Right. And realizing that I mean, she's amazing. She would get stuff done and send it to me and it would just sit in my email box.
Mm,
I'm supposed to set up, she'd literally have that email ready for me. I just had to forward it. And nope, it's me. I'm the bottleneck. So learning how to really take myself and delegate, I'm very much a
mm.
control freak.
That
And
was going to
learning
be
how
my
to,
next question. Of like, most of us that found like as we start scaling, we can't. We have a hard time letting go.
yeah,
So okay, so I'm interested in this
yeah.
conversation of like, what was your secret sauce to
I, and I,
delegate
th-
and let go?
I think the secret sauce for me was really trusting the person that I was delegating to.
Mm,
I had worked with her at my previous firm, my previous tax firm. And she ended up leaving and said, "Oh, I want to do something I want to do the same thing that you want to do." And I said, "Oh, well, come on. I'm at capacity. I'm over capacity. I need
yeah.
some help. You can be my number two." And knowing her, trusting her, and knowing that I believe that she does good work and
Mm,
I can delegate because I've had tried to delegate in previous iterations of that and it just didn't work very well. Like you said, I had the wrong people. Knowing that I could trust and delegate to her, and also just having it that that real moment of be like, I'm the bottleneck.
right.
I'm the person in the way here.
Right. I can't
I
scale. Like my company
correct.
cannot grow. I'm in the way.
I'm in the way.
Yeah.
Right. I'm the problem. So having that reflection and being very, very clear that that was the problem helped me realize, okay, I need to get out of the way. I need
Right.
to let her do her thing. I need to make sure that I'm doing my thing. I'm using my time the best that I can and letting go of all those other little things that I shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love that. Is there a system or maybe that you implemented that really transformed your operations like day to day? Is there a tool or is there like I said, like some kind of a process that you were like, oop, this unlocked it?
There are several that I use. I'm a huge fan, and this goes back to my financial mind of the profit first model
Oh,
and
yeah.
having structure around income, profit. Which is weird for me because I love spreadsheets. I love being able to like get into the weeds of things. But the profit first model really just helped me open my eyes to that there are just different buckets for your business that you can
That's
then
right.
make sure you have some for profit, make sure you're paying yourself well, making
Right.
sure that you're paying your taxes, making sure that you're paying your operating expenses. That realization and discovery and sort of tweak. And it's not like different, right? It's the bucket system, it's the envelope system. It's still
Right.
something that my grandma used to do with
Right.
her envelopes, but being able to see it in a way that is now 2025 or 26 has really helped shape my business, but also helped the businesses that I worked with about just being able to realize and see what you have to work with and help you
Mm.
make intentional decisions. I'm all about intention and
Yeah.
making intentional decisions. And you can't get any better with having clear set boundaries around what this money is for.
Mm.
And so I feel like that's helped change me and my systems. And also this process of like, you have to have good information and good data in order to make
Right.
good decisions. And so whether it's bookkeeping or cash flow or taxes, if you don't have the right data, then you're screwed.
That's right. That's right. Do you help your clients? Are you managing like their QuickBooks or doing
Mhm.
audits on that or helping them
Yeah.
structure that? Do you mostly work with like smaller businesses or are you working with like just a spectrum of different
It's a
size?
spectrum, mostly small businesses, but some businesses that have a lot of revenue and also like 7 shareholders, right? And so
Mm.
having different people to
Managing
deal
those
with and work with.
shareholders.
Talk about learning opportunities. Yeah. But I tried to do my best to, like I said, make sure that they are able to do the best that they can with their skill set and make sure that they're not keeping focused if they don't like books
Mm.
or cash flow or taxes. Obviously, they have to understand what's happening, what's going on, but I can take that from them. I can do their
Yeah.
books. I can do their cash flow analysis. I can do their tax returns. I can also help them with taking a step back from
Mm.
working in the business,
Right.
doing what they do well and saying, all right, is this aligned with what you want to do? Are you sure
Right.
this is the direction that you want to go? Why are you doing this? What values are you using to make decisions? Being able to help them both from a strategic standpoint and then
Mm.
from a technical standpoint is where
Yeah.
my bread and butter is with my firm.
I think that's a good lesson. We do the same thing with, brand and marketing of owners and leadership get so too close that
Hmm.
they need that outsider perspective to ask the questions to go, there's not alignment, right? Because
Yeah.
intentionality means you need to be clear. You need to have clarity in order to move forward. So, yeah. And it's very hard to have clarity when you're in it.
Right. And
Um,
we all have blind spots. We all have
right.
things that we can't see about. I couldn't see that I was a bottleneck, right?
Right.
Until somebody showed me.
Right.
And so being able to really think about things from an outside perspective, being able to have somebody hold up the mirror. And I love what you said about asking questions, right? It's not about
Mhm.
having all the answers.
That's right.
It's about asking the right questions and being able
That's
to
right.
say, what do we learn here? What do we
Yeah.
know from what you said before with what you're saying now? Are these two aligned?
That's
And
right.
just being able to ask.
That's right. And it's interesting, so when we bring on new clients or even just in the conversations of, we have to make sure that the leadership has the right mindset because
Mm,
otherwise we won't be successful. And it was like when I look at clients that we turned over, it wasn't a good fit. It always turned out to be, there was a mindset of,
mm,
you know, I'm not going to reveal this. Why? Like, we can't do our job if we don't have the information or just the
yeah.
ego of the barriers of, I don't believe in this. I don't, they're giving us answers thinking that that's what we want to hear versus what's the honest truth. And then when
Mm,
we uncover the honest truth, it becomes, we're the enemy. We're like, woof, like we're going to uncover the ugly babies in your
yeah.
business.
Yep. Yep. And
I'm
they
sure,
need to
and
be ready for that.
financially, you'll uncover the ugly babies too.
Oh my
Like,
gosh. Right. And it's again, I feel like we uncover the ugly babies, but also you do it in the sense of there's no judgment.
that's
Your
right.
baby is your baby. And
That's right.
so
And we're
whatever you
gonna
discover
love
here,
it.
we're going to love it. We're going to grow it. We're going to give it a haircut. We're going to
That's
do
right.
whatever we can to make it the baby that you love and want the most. So it's all a part of the process and that self-growth. And some people aren't ready, right?
That's
Some
right.
people are
Some
not
people
ready
aren't
to
ready. That's
be there.
right.
And you imagine
We're
both
not a
you
good
and I
fit for
want to,
everybody. It's
we're
those
not a
that
good
have
fit.
you're ready to scale, you're ready to accelerate. And it sounds like
Mm-hmm.
it's the same for you.
Yeah.
Well, what would you be doing if you had no fears?
What would I be doing if I had no fears?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have a ton of fear lately. Well, I guess that's not true. I'm a very anxious I'm a very anxious person, so I'm like fearful of a lot of things, but a lot of things that don't actually make any sense, right? I'm fearful of weird things. My mind goes to crazy places. But I feel like becoming a business owner has really taught me to, like I said, live in the chaos,
Mm,
live in the gray, and also face my fears. To know that
yeah.
no, there's no certainty. And if something happens, something goes wrong, like it inevitably will, I'll
Always
figure it
does.
out. So what's the person holding me back is me. And if I
Yeah.
can be bold enough to put myself out there, I recently got married and
Congratulations.
thank you. We got married over the summer and we got married on a boat and we
In
were going through
Chicago?
in Chicago on the Chicago River.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And I learned about 2 weeks ago that somebody posted our wedding, making a very homophobic post on TikTok. And
Oh,
so one of my fears has been like going viral for all the wrong reasons.
yeah.
And it had 100,000 likes within like an hour.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, it wasn't because I'm
Oh,
fearful of like, I don't want to be associated. I don't want to be the butt of somebody's joke, right?
yeah.
I don't want to be some homophobe's impetus, but that moment of being like, oh my gosh, facing my fears and being like,
Yeah.
oh, this is happening. There's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
This really isn't about me, but even that fear of knowing that this is something that I was afraid of and knowing
Yeah.
that even if when it happened, it was okay is just reassurance to me that I don't really need to live in fear.
Right.
I can keep going. I can keep moving forward. Doesn't mean I don't acknowledge the fear because that would be disingenuous. It's
Yeah.
being able to acknowledge the fear and keep moving forward anyway, to know that I'll figure it out.
That's
Something will
right.
happen and
We'll
it'll
move
be
on.
what it is.
That's
Exactly.
right. Um, that's good. I like that. If you looked ahead, or I would say, let me go. If I gave you a magic wand
I love
and you could
magic
change,
wands.
I know I love magic wand. If you could change two things about your business, what would you change?
Two things about my business. So magic wand,
Mm-hmm.
if I could have had the person that I have now help me earlier, I probably would have done that. I would have taken myself out of that business more.
Yeah.
Um, and, for the longest time, I thought there would be no way I'd have any more employees um, that I would put myself in a situation where I had to like take on other people. I thought I would never do that. And now I'm grateful that I've done it. And again, it's a learning opportunity. It's not perfect,
Right.
but that's one thing that I would have changed early on. And I think second, I would have given myself a little bit more grace when I was getting divorced. It was a very, very hard moment for me, and I was pushing. I was writing
Mm.
for Forbes, I was speaking a lot, and maybe because I wanted to get away from the chaos that was in my house,
Right.
but being able to give myself some grace, I was really hard on myself
Hmm.
then. And you talked about the rewind button. If I could just
Yeah.
change that aspect of my business is here to serve me, but I'm also here to serve my business. And I think I would have just given myself more grace in that moment.
Yeah. That's
And it
something
did.
that I think I've had to learn of and talk with other founders and in the community of we have a hard time being merciful on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we and we need to have those seasons of giving ourselves grace
Mm-hmm.
and room to breathe and recognize that we're all a work in progress
Yeah.
and not perfect.
Yeah.
And
I love,
also sometimes we put more pressure on ourselves and burdens that the weight and
mhm.
we need to offload that weight.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And giving ourselves grace, offloading the weight, and also, one of my favorite phrases. I have a lot of favorite phrases, but that we're all here doing the best that we can, including me, right? I'm
yeah.
doing the best that I can with the information that I have, and knowing that that's okay, and being able to share openly about that. I think being able to share and us talking
Hmm.
about the things that we have challenged us with, the things that we face that we didn't do as well as we wanted to.
Yeah.
I think that's the connection that really binds all of us together, especially as business owners. These podcasts are so helpful because they
Yeah.
can see people like you doing things that you want to do and knowing that it's not going to be perfect. And that's
Right.
okay.
And it's more real. Like,
Mm,
you look at the reason why we started Orange Whip, the media company that's, and Hello Chaos, the podcast, the founder, was because we would look at these ecosystems, the entrepreneur ecosystems in the communities. And the only stories that you would hear would be what I call it the ecosystem gatekeepers
mhm.
would lift up. And it was always the unicorns, the, 1 to 3% of those huge success stories. And those people did not look like or represent the 98% of the spectrum
Yep.
out
Yeah.
there. And took me a long time to find the community of just other female entrepreneurs and business owners, or other agency owners across the country that we could. It's like we're not alone, and just have it. And I think the podcast like this kind of helps shape that. I'm curious of like your podcast. What is it? What is your podcast name?
It's called Mission Driven Business.
Okay,
And it's the whole theme is entrepreneurs sharing their experience, strength, and hope around building a business that is both impactful and provides them a good living, right?
I,
Both of those things can be true.
I love
And
it.
yeah, it's again, I love talking with people and having
Yeah,
conversations. So that's really the impetus of it. But I feel like a lot of people have learned that you're not alone.
that's
There are
right.
people that look like you. There are people that are in your same situation. There are people that have dealt with the same things that you've gone through
Right.
and come out the other side. It
That's right.
hasn't been perfect. It hasn't been easy,
And it
but
won't
they made
be.
it,
That's
and it
right.
won't be,
And it
and
will
it won't be.
continue to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I think, yeah, having a more connected community and gets people not, because I think there's a lot of fear that we hold up of, I don't know who I should tell um, like the bad babies, the ugly
Mhm.
babies and all that.
Yeah.
We get afraid to tell some of that. And so we hide.
And we're afraid because, like you said, there have been gatekeepers before who have
Hmm.
only shown one story,
Right.
or that this hustle culture of being a business owner and grinding and working yourself to death and reinvesting all your money in the business, like that's not what this is about.
Right.
And the more stories that we can hear about people doing it a different way,
Hmm.
knowing that there are many ways to get to the business that you want, and the business that you want or the successful business isn't one that's just making a lot of money. It's one that's providing you the impact that you want to have on the
Right.
people in the world. It's providing you the life the time that you want, the freedom to be yourself and spend time on your health and your mental well-being. There's so many more metrics that we try to use to
That's
really
right.
gauge a successful business rather than just money and success and
Yeah,
fame.
because
That's
it's
not
all
what this is
success is
about.
defined by the owner, right?
Yep.
All right. So if you chose one word to sum up your journey, what word would you use?
I I love the word chaos, right? It's been chaotic. Um, Not only chaotic in just sort of building the business, but with life.
Yeah.
Like I said, the divorce, we had COVID, we had, Black Lives Matter, and we have the current administration. Like there's so much chaos in the
And
world
uncertainty. Yeah.
and chaos and uncertainty. And that's okay, right? That's the chaos that I've learned to live with and understand and embrace is
Hmm.
a part of why I've come to love this business that I'm in
Mm.
and become to appreciate this business that I am. So maybe it's just because I'm on this podcast and it's called Hello Chaos, but
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
going to choose the word chaos for now.
I love it. And it's funny when we came up with the name, because that's a word that follows me, right? And when
Hmm.
we polled a few thousand of like what words come up, you hear trailblazer and resilience or grit and and then chaos kept coming up, and somebody was like, "Ooh, chaos is a negative." And I said, not in the mindset of a
Right.
founder. It's more of an energy, and
Mm-hmm.
it's welcomed chaos. Yes, we have the negative, like some of that, the grind part or the
Mm-hmm.
hustle kind of part. But for the most part, I think when people see chaos. That's why we said hello, because it's like, come on, bring it.
Come on in.
Like, let's go. Let's get it. Let's solve that problem. We're going to get through this hurdle.
Yep.
And I think the way you summed it up is literally the ethos of why we named it,
Yeah.
the
It's a perfect
podcast.
naming, perfect word, right? It's chaotic,
Ah.
but it's awesome.
So if we looked ahead and I came out to Chicago, which my son lives there, he just
Yeah.
moved up there. He's over off of now I've forgotten where he is. He's over by the Sears Tower. He's like 2 miles from the
Oh, yeah.
Sears Tower. Yeah.
Yeah. Does he
Um
love it? It's the best city in the
he
world.
he
I
loves
will
it.
just tell you
And
now. Yeah.
and I'm from Indiana, so it's
Oh,
and we've got family in Chicago.
yeah.
I love the city. I love the energy.
Yeah.
It's just I don't go there typically between November and February because it's freaking
Smart.
cold.
Yeah.
It's so
It is
cold
freezing and snowy and ice. Like, yeah,
and icy,
don't
and I
come
try
during the
to
winter.
warn, so it was just when we were looking at colleges for him, we looked at University of Chicago and, we toured and he said, "Ma," he's like, I can't go to school here. I don't like the city."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay." So when he interned for the company last year, he's a systems cybersecurity systems engineer.
Okay.
And I was like, "Ooh, Chicago. Thank God it's over the summer because remember you didn't like this." And he loved it. I'm like, "He loved it." And they offered him a job. I mean, he had his job lined up a
Yeah.
year before graduation, and I just was like, "You've only lived there in the summer, like the summer months."
That's how
And he's
Chicago gets
there,
us all.
and he is like, "Mom, I just love it." It is now. Granted, he is across the street from his office, so it's not like
Yeah.
he has a big. He didn't hit the wind tunnel commute,
Yeah.
but he just likes the. He's a night owl. He likes the
Hmm.
fact that there's and kind of doesn't the big city, but just the culture, the food, and then
Mm.
you're an hour from like he goes to the Indiana Dunes, and then
Yeah.
and then we've got family members. He's 3 hours from family, so it's.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
I
good.
grew up in Indianapolis and
Oh, very good.
went to school in Greencastle, Indiana, small town Indiana, and then realized I wanted to get out of the Indiana small town feel.
Yeah,
Went East Coast for law school, but then realized that Chicago was like the perfect mesh of both of
yeah,
those. The
yeah.
Midwest
The
feel and
Midwest with the big city, a
with the
little
big
bit.
city. We have
Yeah.
everything here, and the people here
What
are
school?
amazing.
What school did you go to? What school
DePaul,
was it? DePaul. Okay,
With a W. Yeah.
the DePaul. Yeah, I'm an IU grad, so
Okay, close
yeah,
by. Yeah.
that's right. That's right. And then okay, so if we met a year from now and I came up Chicago, what would we be celebrating? What's a win?
I think the win for me a year from now is really embracing having an employee. This is my new start and struggle of around this iteration of my business and being able to really live into and love and experience this new stage in the business,
Hmm,
but also really see the growth that I've gotten to have because it's not just me anymore. It's
yeah,
not just me helping clients one on one. It's me and a team, and it's all of us doing it together. And it's me being able to learn how to let go and
yeah,
delegate and learn how to be not as controlling. So hopefully, like having this relationship be the best that it could be, and then seeing the business grow as a result of that, I think would be a
yeah.
huge win. Something that I really feel like we will be celebrating a year from now.
Oh, I'm excited.
Me too.
If don't let don't don't let go of your controlling self. Create boundaries for people to be successful in.
Mm,
But that's what I had to learn of like I needed to delegate with intention
yeah,
and create like this is the it's the Brian way. It's the Jennifer way and
yeah,
build this and then build the system around that.
yeah.
Because that's what
So
I
really embracing who you are still.
embracing who you are because you're going to be disappointed if you delegate it and it goes off the rails, right?
Yeah.
And then you might get mad like I don't understand how you didn't follow that and or I thought it was intuitive. No, it's not. Do not take and that's what somebody was like you took for granted what you do and how you
Yep.
do it and you need to teach it and
Yeah.
make it scalable. Yeah,
Right. People can't read your mind. Right. And I feel like that's
that's right.
where I am a failing of mine is knowing that I can't expect people to read my mind or to do things exactly how I do them.
Right.
There's multiple ways to get to an end point, and sometimes I have to be able to let go and know that
That's
that's
right.
okay too.
That's right. Yeah,
My way doesn't have to be the right way, which
that's right. Yes.
Another hard thing for me to let
Another
go
hard
of.
thing. Yeah, I've had
Yeah.
to retrain my brain of instead of being the solutions person,
Mhm.
to push back and go, well, how would you do it?
Mm.
You know, you
I
know
love
the
that
end
question.
goal. You know the end goal. You know that this is our culture. This is our this is how we show up. So how would you handle it?
Mm.
And it's hard. It's hard for people like us to
Right.
not just give them the answer.
Right.
Yeah,
And the other thing I heard though is you still have to be really foundationally and structured in the mission, vision, values of the firm.
that's right.
This is our goal. This is the end goal.
Those are your
How would you do it?
guardrails. That's right.
Exactly.
Those are
Yeah.
your guardrails.
I love that
So,
question. I'm definitely going to be using that.
yeah, love it. And then if you had advice, like whether it's advice that you've been given or things that you've taught yourself that that you want to give to our founder community of other
Mhm.
business owners, what's the best piece of advice?
It's the whole cliche around life is a journey, not a destination.
Mm,
I've realized that there is no there, right? You get to a certain revenue figure and then you have another one.
right.
You have a certain amount of clients and then you want more, right? There is no there. And what's I've had to learn is really enjoy and embrace the process
Mm,
of liking what I do for the sake of what I do, not to get somewhere else, not to do something else or have a certain amount of things or money or freedom, but to enjoy the process. I love talking with people. I love these conversations because they're so enlightening and encouraging and comforting and being able to just enjoy. I love talking with my clients. I love seeing the light bulb go off in their
yeah.
eyes when they realize that they don't have to do things a certain way. They can do it the way that they want to. That brings me enjoyment. So I really encourage, as funny or sappy or cringeworthy the cliche is, it's about the journey. It's about the moments that you have each day
Mm,
rather than getting to a certain point.
I like that. So, okay, if you had to look at the next chapter in your journey, what word do you want to define that journey or that chapter?
I guess since we're just talking about it, I feel like it's presence, being able
Mm,
to be present in this journey of my business. I'm present for my life, present for what's happening, present for what the universe brings me, being able to really stay present in this process, in this journey. Know that it's about these moments, it's about these
that's right.
conversations, it's about connection, it's about being able to do and be grateful for what I get to do, right? I get to
That's right.
have conversations as a part of building my business. Like,
It's making
uh,
connections. Yeah.
yep, exactly.
I like that. That's a good word, presence.
Hmm.
Um, oh my goodness, Brian, this has been fantastic. I love talking to you. But before we
Me too.
go, uh, how can people learn more about what you're doing and
Yeah.
support you? What would you like to tell them?
Well, you can find me in many ways, but my website is btfinancial.com. So that's where you can come learn about my blog and my podcast. My podcast is Mission Driven Business. I love talking with entrepreneurs and having the diverse people who can share their experience, strength, and hope around building an impactful and profitable business. You can find lots and lots of stories there and get more conversations like this there. And
Perfect.
I'm also on social media. You can find me mostly on Instagram at at Brian Financial. And be me there. I do a lot of both business stuff and personal stuff there as well.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to go follow you on Instagram.
Do it.
Um, Love it. Well, that's a wrap on today's chaos, but the journey doesn't stop here. If you found yourself nodding along, laughing, or yelling same over at Brian, make sure to subscribe, share, and leave us that 5-star review on Spotify. Or you can dig deeper into founder resources and tools, more episodes over at Orange Whip. That is orangewip.com. Until next time, stay curious, stay scrappy, and remember, we are all a WIP, a work in progress. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you again next week.